Hello everybody, MD here with some Disney Sorcerer's Arena content. The game was released on March 24th, meaning that at the time of filming this, June 19th, the game has been out for 95 days. However, I didn't create this free-to-play account until April 28th, which means that this account has only been in existence for exactly 60 days. In this video, I wanted to show you where a free-to-play account can be at in Disney Sorcerer's Arena after just 2 months of playing. One of the advantages to starting this game a month after release was that it allowed me to kind of see who the good attackers, supports, and tanks were right off the bat. This game has a very similar interface and play structure as Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, another game that I've been playing since its release. This has afforded me the advantage of knowing that I should just focus on specific characters and not kind of spread my resources out over a wide variety. Let's jump in and see how I've structured this free-to-play account. As you're looking at my character roster, you're going to immediately notice that I have some pretty strong characters that I focused on. My goal here was to pick 5 characters, 3 attacking characters, 1 support character, and 1 tank character that I knew would do decent in player versus player arena. If you're new to the game, one of the first things you really want to determine is which resources are the most valuable and then build your roster to attain those specific resources. In the case of Sorcerer's Arena, you just have to go over to the exchange to see all of the different types of resources along the top. The first resource are diamonds and gems, which you can attain through purchasing with real money or through completing campaign missions or daily objectives. If you're a free-to-play player, you have to be really judicious on how you spend these diamonds. For this reason, very rarely have I ever spent diamonds or gems here in the exchange. Instead, the only place I've really ever used diamonds and gems through 60 days is on refreshing my daily energy. The next resource is gold, which is where I found that I've been gated the most as a free-to-play player. There's just not enough gold to be able to promote the characters or level up the characters that you want. This was also the case in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes early on when I first started the game. And now, once you've played it a long time, you realize that gold, or in the case of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, credits, isn't really a limiting factor the further you play in the game and the stronger roster you get. But early on, it's going to gate you. So as far as the exchange shop goes, even though there's some great equipment items in here that you need to promote the tier level of your characters, you're gonna wanna avoid this as a free-to-play player. The next resource are these flag tokens. And you gain these flag tokens by being a part of a guild, completing some daily activities, and it sends you a daily reward depending on how much you've contributed. As a free-to-play player, this is a part of the exchange that you really want to focus on. So one of my big pieces of advice is to get out there and find a guild as soon as you can so you can get as many of these flag tokens as possible. What you're going to want to do is focus on one specific character with these flag tokens in the exchange. Instead of spreading it out and building a bunch of different characters up to 20 or 30 character shards, which is equivalent to a 3 or 4 star character, focus on one specific character at a time. This way, it won't deplete your flag tokens, and it'll actually let you build up a great reserve of flag tokens by the time that you're getting one of these characters to a 5, 6, or even 7 star rating. The next resource are battle tokens, and these are probably the most valuable resource in the game. You gain battle tokens through the Sorcerer's Tournament game mode. In this game mode, you can see on the left-hand side of the screen, depending on your rank, there's a reward structure. Obviously, the higher your rank, the higher the rewards. Because these battle tokens are so valuable, I suggest, as a free-to-play player, gear your roster towards doing well in the Sorcerer's Tournament game mode to get as many of these battle tokens as you can. The reason they're so valuable is because of the character roster that you can purchase shards for in the exchange. For instance, right now in the game, Shan Yu, Mordu, Judy Hopps and the Big Bad Wolf are all excellent characters to build your roster around. My advice on how you spend battle tokens is actually the same as my advice for the flag tokens. Focus on one character at a time. As you can see on my free-to-play account, I've been focusing on the Big Bad Wolf. This has allowed me to not only get the Big Bad Wolf leveled up, he's currently at a 6-star, it also has allowed me to build up a reserve of these battle tokens that I can then start using on other characters as soon as I am done with the Big Bad Wolf. The next resource are tower tokens, which are going to level up your spells. Now, a couple of notes here. You get 2 spells in addition to your 5 character roster in battle. And right now, there's not much variance in the different kind of spells and which one's better than others. And in this part of the exchange, I'm going to show you how not focusing on one particular thing has kind of put this account into a tough position. Instead of focusing on one spell and leveling it all the way up, I've focused on 2 spells on this account, both triggers Tower as well as the Headless Horseman. Now, the downside to doing this is, as you can see from my reserves, I don't have that many tower tokens available. So I've been kind of forced in the last week or two to, instead of buying both shards to level them both up, I've been having to choose, well, which one do I want to level up right now? The next resource is this Eye in the Stone. And honestly, I just kind of opened up this feature and I haven't even earned any of them yet. So if you're a new player, you really don't need to worry about these in the first couple months of playing. Let's move on. The next resource is kind of this question mark, and you can see I don't have it unlocked yet. I need at least 1 7-star character. You most likely won't have that in the first 2 months, so let's skip that one as well. The last resource is the VIP exchange. Obviously, as a free-to-play player, you are not going to have access to this exchange, considering you have to purchase the VIP pass, similar to Clash Royale, where you pay a monthly fee and it opens up this feature and you get small rewards throughout the month. No need to worry about this as a free-to-play player. Let's go ahead and look at the character roster on this account. Because I wanted to gear it to get battle tokens, I wanted to make sure that I had a competitive roster inside of the Sorcerer's tournament. To do so, I figured you need 3 attackers, 1 tank, and 1 support character. You can see that I focused on Aladdin, the Big Bad Wolf, and Anger as my 3 attackers, and then I have Sully as my tank and I have Ariel as my support. A quick side note, you can see that my Aladdin is ready to be upgraded to 7 stars. However, as you can see, I do not have enough gold coins. It costs 1,000,000 gold coins to go from 6-star to 7-star. As mentioned before, the gold coin gate is very real for a free-to-play player right off the bat. I also have several other characters that I have not increased their star rating because I'm saving up for that 1,000,000 benchmark to get Aladdin to 1,000,000 coins. You can see here, I have Yzma, I have Darkwing Duck, I have this bug guy, Hopper. So there's a lot that I could upgrade if I had the gold coins. But even after I save up 1,000,000 gold coins to upgrade Aladdin, you can see the Big Bad Wolf is not far behind, as I'm only missing 80 more shards for him to upgrade from 6 to 7 stars. So immediately after I upgrade Aladdin to 7 stars, it'll drain my gold. I'm gonna have to start that slow process of building up 1,000,000 gold once again just to upgrade this character. A couple of things I would do different as a free-to-play player if I had this account to do over again. First, considering I knew that I was going to be focusing on Aladdin, instead of focusing on the Big Bad Wolf as another attacker, I really should have focused on Shan Yu as an attacker. Not only is he one of the better characters in the entire game right now, he also has a leader ability that gives kingdom teammates, which Aladdin is a kingdom teammate, 8% bonus speed. And Aladdin's already super fast, so this would have created a devastating combo. Another character I probably would have went after instead of Sully would be Mordu. He's one of the stronger characters in the game, and he's got a great ability set. But the game gives you Sully to start, so I just kind of went with it. Alternatively, if you're gonna roll with Aladdin, a pretty good tank to go with is also Jasmine. If your focus is on building a great team to get battle tokens, you're really going to want to pay attention to your tier level. You can see that every character has 6 little bubbles, you're seeing them with the purple hourglass on them, that you have to fill all 6 of them to increase your tier level by 1. To fill one of these bubbles, you're going to need to go into that character and search for the right number of materials to make that piece of equipment. In the case of lower level characters, there's plenty of these materials available. You can see from the genie right here, he's gear level 1. If I want to increase his gear level, you can see I already have those bubbles ready to fill. I simply just click on one, and then I can equip all, and you can see it highlights the tier up on the left-hand side. If I click that, he becomes tier 2. Tier levels are really important in succeeding in the Sorcerer's Tournament. I've gone up against plenty of other players that have a full roster of 7-star characters, but when their tier level is below my tier level, if they have all 4s and a couple of 3s in there, my tier level 5 Aladdin, Big Bad Wolf, and Sully eat them alive. Next, let's look at this account's spell roster. As you can see, I've put my primary focus on Trigger's Tower and the Headless Horseman. The spells really do make a big difference in battle, so I encourage you to go in there and start reading a lot of the different spells and just focus on that one and then eventually a second spell to really support your roster. One of the places where you can really get a boost on your spell roster and the shards that you get is the Towers of Endurance. Now, I want to give you a big word of warning if you're a free-to-play player, if you're new to the game here. When you complete one of the previous Towers of Endurance, you cannot go back and play those Towers of Endurance. This is a really important thing to note, primarily because you can gate yourself in the number of tower tokens you're receiving if you go ahead and advance before you're ready to advance. This free-to-play account is a perfect example of that. I'm on the 3rd Tower of Endurance, and I cannot make it past the 3rd level of this tower. As you can see, if I click on each level of the tower, it's going to tell you the amount of rewards that I can receive. And each step is 100 tower tokens. So I've gated this account at getting 300 tower tokens a day. Versus had I stayed at the 2nd tower and gone ahead and hit the refresh at the beginning that takes you all the way back down to the 1st level of the tower, as soon as I got to level 10 and not completed it, I could have been getting 900 tower tokens a day instead of the 300 that I'm at. So as tantalizing as it is to try to go ahead and complete the tower for the big reward of getting 30 spell shards, I advise you do not do this until you are ready. Hopefully this video gives you a good look into where a free-to-play account can be after 60 days, as well as some tips and some advice if you're a new player to the game. If you're a free-to-play player, go ahead and add where your account's at in the comments. And if you really like this video, please subscribe and like it. If you want more videos from me about other nerddoms of all kinds, go check out my other YouTube channel, IMO. A link to that will be in the description of this video. Otherwise, we'll catch you next time.